Hello folks, good morning. How are you guys doing today? How's the morning to you? Are you feeling good? Are you feeling bad? What do you think? Are you gonna trade today? I'm feeling like 50-50. I didn't have a good sleep last night, so I'm still feeling very sleepy. But hey, I had an interest to tape read the price action before FOMC, so I came back as I promised yesterday. Right? Delphine, how are you? Good morning. ICT Universe, good morning. Iman, good morning. Michelle Miller, good morning. I thought he said on Telegram he was not live streaming today. I said I'm live streaming and it's starting shortly. I think you got it wrong. Joe, good morning. Rebecca, good morning. Gold trades, black sheep. We'll see. Memelin, yeah, it's a good morning, but it's very cold out here, and I don't like cold. I prefer sunny weather, and so in Canada it's always cold. Arman is saying, hey buddy, where you guys are in the journey of your ICT study. We have come so far that now we are live streaming. That's how much we progressed. Nick, good morning. Sario, good morning. Reggie, good morning. Nick, yes, we'll see if we get a good trade today or not. We'll see how price will behave. We still got time before our macro starts, right? We don't have any news coming at AM session until 10 o'clock. It's a medium impact, but we got a high impact news at 2 o'clock today, so we'll see if the AM session is providing us anything like we expect. Krishna, good morning. Alex, bonjour. Python, hi bro, can I join private mentorship? Yes, you can, and you will find the link in the description below. Look at the camera, why? Now you are timed out. Okay, so we'll start now. Okay, I believe my sound is good, right? I believe the sound is good. Sound is perfect, as I can see it here. So now we'll start with the weekly chart, and we'll see what happens here. CAD news at 8:30 a.m. EST. Okay, we don't care about that. We only look for USD news. Okay. So on weekly chart, yesterday I got a question about which chart to look at, like CBOT, CMINI, or the CFD chart. So what I will recommend you, because on CFD chart you will see a little bit of difference, not a little bit, like a much of difference, right? But on lower time frame on CFD chart, it moves the same way it does on CME charts. There's no difference. On higher time frame, it goes a little bit farther, a little bit behind. So what I will recommend you all, those who are newbie in this industry, build your analysis on CME chart, CME chart, okay, E-mini chart, and trade here. Like, build your trade idea here and just execute on your CFD chart. And if you're still getting confused, change your broker. There are brokers who provide trading as CMINI, like Trade08. There are funded companies like Top Step. Then there's TradeStation, stuff like that. So yeah, so there are options. It's not like you will have to stick with CFD if you don't feel comfortable there, right? Okay, so we'll start, and as we can see on weekly chart on Dow, we are still trading inside this PPR. Small little a big separation here, right, with two fair value gaps crossing each other. So we'll mark it just like we did yesterday. Yesterday price was here. Now today price did a deeper dive inside this inversion, right? So if you measure the inversion from here, you can see price hit the lower quadrant, and if you measure this fair value gap here, which is this CB, you will see that price hit the midway of this fair value gap. So we'll see if price showing any rejection towards sell side from here, and if it's not happening in the AM session, I believe it will happen at PM session when the news gets released at 2 o'clock. But we'll see. We have been seeing a pretty bullish price action throughout this month, right? The war's been very good for Dow, stocks, not specifically Dow. So price hit the midway of this fair value gap, and that's where we expect to see price getting sensitive. So now let's drop down to the lower time frame, and let's see what the lower time frame is supporting, what lower time frame is showing to us, right? We got our order block right here. Now again, price did a deeper deeper retracement inside these order blocks. And yesterday we saw price hitting 0.75, and price got price rejected lower after it hit the upper quadrant yesterday, right? We got a trade at 920 to 940, and the low of the day formed at 930, and after that price was bullish throughout the whole session, throughout the whole day. So we'll see what happens today. We also hit the rejection block here on weekly chart, I forgot to mention. So these are our rejection block, right? So two bullish PD area right here, sorry, three bearish PD area, not bullish. We got this inversion, we got this fair value gap, the midway of this fair value gap, then as well we got this rejection block from the weekly chart. Now we'll go to daily chart, and let's see what daily chart is showing us here. So on daily chart, I don't see much other than price going above this swing high, right, or hitting this rejection block. So we'll also keep an eye on this part of the price action right here, and seems like price did hit it. When did it hit it? It hit it Monday, okay, last night, yesterday. So we'll keep an eye on this if price want to return back to it. And we also got an order block right here alongside with this volume balance. So these are the only things that I'm getting from the daily chart. I got the rejection block right here, I got the rejection block from the weekly chart right here. So let's change the color. So the blue color is the rejection block from the weekly, the red one is the rejection block from the daily chart. Now let's look at the 4-hour, and let's see what's happening here. We got a breaker here on 4-hour chart. I don't know if you guys see it. If you see it before me mentioning it, you are already progressing in identifying a breaker block. So where is it? We got our low here, right? We got two candles that is making a swing low here. So that makes this up close candle right here a breaker block, and all of this down here is a part of manipulation. Okay, so we'll just avoid it. Once this breaker is broken, only after that we'll start looking at this level. So we got our breaker, which is here. This is our breaker block, and now let's drop down to the lower time frame, and let's see if lower time frame is suggesting us that price can potentially go towards buy side, because our higher time frame weekly chart is showing us that we are bearish, right? But price can still like move towards the buy side throughout the whole session and still be bearish for the week, right? So now let's see if our trade idea is getting supported on lower time frame. So what's happening here? We got a fair value gap here, right? And now what I would like to see, like if price is forming strong liquidity towards sell side or towards buy side. We got a volume imbalance right here. So let's quickly market this volume imbalance. I don't see anything else other than a implied fair value gap here. This is what something I refer to as hidden fair value gap. And how does it forms? When we have a candle, and right next to this candle we have big wicks, right, crossing each other, that makes it a implied fair value gap. And price came back up, hit the implied fair value gap. Did it hit it? The implied fair value gap starts from the midway of these candles, right? So this is the fair value gap right here. So I'm gonna mark it as price didn't hit it, so I'll keep an eye on this as well. So this is our hidden fair value gap right here. And what do I see on hourly chart? Do I see anything else? I basically don't, other than this breaker, other than this fair value gap. I don't see anything else. And let's drop down to the 15-minute chart and let's see what this is showing to us. Okay, now that I'm on 15-minute chart, I see a order block. I see a order block right here, right? Order block with a fair value gap. Once we drop down to 5-minute, 3-minute chart, this order block will become more significant. So what I'm gonna do, now the price filled almost half of the gap here, right? I'm gonna mark the gap from this level, from this swing low to this high. And what do you guys see here? Price came back up, right? What is this blue shaded box? Blue shaded area. It is our weekly rejection block, right? This is why the levels that you get from weekly chart is very important, because it works like a charm on lower time frame. What do you see here? Price came back up, right? Right here, did a stop hunt, hit the rejection block from the weekly chart and got rejected. And at the same time, we made relative equal lows, and that works as a strong target for us. So when price was going towards this rejection, how will you know that price will reject from here? We are analyzing our chart outside of our macro, okay? But there was still a potential, and the same potential will repeat again. That's why it's good for you to learn why price does it and how price does it. When price was going towards buy side liquidity, right? Going for this swing high, it was at the same time generating relative equal lows. And that's what I taught you guys inside my 3-day workshop, that you want to see the price building strong sell side liquidity when it's going for a bearish breaker, when it's going for a swing high. And that's what gives you confirmation that after price reaches for its target, right, for the premium PDRA, it will reject for these levels again, and it will go below this swing low. How do you know that price will go below this swing low and not stop at the discount? You look for these strong liquidity levels. If there are relative equal lows, trendline liquidity, you can expect to see price going below swing low. And if there's no relative equal high, no relative equal low or trendline liquidity, rather a fair value gap like this, that's when you consider this fair value gap and don't consider this low. For price to go below this low and hit this breaker, price will have to break this order block first, right? So this will be your low hanging fruit. We are not taking a trade, but the same price action will repeat again. That's why I'm explaining to you what happens and what we expect at certain times, what we expect when price is hitting our PDRAs, right? Premium PDRA, discount PDRA. This is something that we look for. Now on higher time frame, this might not see to you as a trendline liquidity, but if you drop down to the lower time frame, equal lows, not trendline liquidity, you can see that we have clean relative equal lows down here, right? So when you see this kind of liquidity levels that price generated, you expect to see price not stopping at discount, rather going all the way down for this level right here. Okay, now you can also ask me, like, HYDRA, price also stopped here, right? This is also a question, because I was asking myself the same question. The fake mentors, okay, they won't ask themselves question like this. So I was watching them and I was like, why he is avoiding it? Why he's talking about one part and avoiding this one? So here, as you can see, price stopped at the discount level, right? So as I was saying, when you see relative equal lows like this, price should go below here. Then HYDRA, why did price stop here? Now look up. For price to go below and provide sell side liquidity below, right? This is a strong sell side liquidity. Price will have to clear out or take orders from the premium level first. And what do you see here? Price generated a lot of relative equal highs and didn't even touch it, right? It was continuously delivering sell side liquidity, right? And you don't know where price will stop. So you wait for the opportunity. What is the opportunity? As soon as you see price retracing, going towards buy side liquidity, you want to see price generating relative equal lows right here. Why? That will mean that these are strong liquidity levels and price will gravitate back to these levels after it gets done delivering buy side liquidity. And what happened here? Look closely. This is the exact thing that I look for when I'm spotting a breaker block. Same thing repeated here, same thing will repeat today inside our macro. So it's very important for you to understand things like this. As you can see, price went for the premium level, right? It cleared out relative equal highs from here. It provided buy side liquidity up here. Now we have this left. Now right here, when you see that on 5-minute chart, exactly at this level you drop down to 1-minute chart and you look for a setup. What kind of setup you will find here? Not possibly a breaker block if the delivery is aggressive, but you will find the inversion. That's what I taught you guys inside the 3-day workshop, right? You will find a turtle soup model, and as you can see, price like after that gravitated back towards these discount levels. Now does it make sense why price stopped here and why we can expect to see price going below this low right now? Let me know in the chat if it makes sense. Okay, so this is our relative equal low, and we still have this gap left from the 50-minute chart. Now we'll drop down to lower time frame. And so ask yourself, okay, when you see things like this repeating on chart and you are just starting your journey, right, you should be asking yourself question like this. You shouldn't be avoiding, okay, price did something here, okay, I don't understand. Why don't I understand? If it doesn't make sense to you, then ask someone who knows what's happening here. Every single thing that happens on chart, you should be asking yourself question like why it's happening, why price stopped here, then didn't went below the swing low, right? As we have strong target here, because price didn't provide any liquidity towards buy side when it generated this relative equal high. Good. I'm gonna go through charts slowly, okay? The folks who are asking me do NQ and stuff like that, I told you guys that I don't care if you are watching me or not, okay? So I won't hesitate to ban you, and after that, trust me, the stream won't be visible to you. So don't do that. I'm gonna go through chart one by one, and the folks who are here for signal, they will get banned sooner or later anyway. So we got our breaker here, right? This is our breaker, and we have a fair value gap here. I would have loved it like if price was forming this breaker when it's going below this breaker, right? But anyway, we got our breaker. We still have time to analyze NQ. We don't rush for a setup as we have a skill that will repeat every single time. And what's happening here? We got more relative equal lows. We got this one. Now let's drop down to 3-minute, and seems like we have an implied fair value gap here, right? On 5-minute, this was a fair value gap. This is a fair value gap, but on 3-minute, this fair value gap is hidden as we have an implied fair value gap. Now let's go to 1-minute chart. Is it clear on 1-minute? Well, it's not, okay, but I can still spot a breaker here on 1-minute. Just avoid the gaps that price formed here, okay? When you see continuous volume imbalance, liquidity void on 1-minute chart, just avoid it and just look at the candles. As you can see here, we have our stop hunt here. We are not trading inside our macro though, so don't be like impulsive and push the button early. So new higher high right up here. So these down close candles becomes what? Our breaker. We got a breaker, this one from the 5-minute chart, and as well as we got another one on 1-minute chart, right? Now if you drop down to 30-second, you will see another breaker here. So this is the reason when, and I always I always say this to you all, okay, that if you know how to read price, you will never worry about a setup. So let's see if price gives us a chance of entry inside our macro. Now let's go to, we still have 7 minutes. Let's analyze NQ a little bit. Morning tail. And NQ seems like hitting the, NQ hit the rejection block right up here, right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna mark the rejection block, and let's put the IPTA here on daily chart, and let's see what IPTA is showing us. I believe this is our 60-day high. I'm not sure, so let's see. ICT anchored IPTA. And when did this market structure shift happened? Okay. Oh, sorry, no, it's not 60-day high, it's 20-day high, right? And did we clear it out? Did we clear it out? Let's see. Yes, we did. So we've been aggressively bullish for the whole month, right, so far, and we hit a rejection block up here. We hit a daily our 20-day high right up here, and now let's see if price wanna go lower. Okay, we also got a volume imbalance here that I believe we can use as, but here's a note, okay, like our mentor told us, once price closes a candle's body above a volume imbalance, that volume imbalance is not usable anymore, so I'm just gonna avoid it. What do I see here? I see price coming back down, right? There's no strong liquidity that I see on daily chart. Now let's go to 4 hour. Chart, we have a breaker here. Now price got beautiful support from this breaker after 10 o'clock yesterday, right down here. Right, our low of the day yesterday was at 9:30, so we'll see what happens today as well. On 4 hour chart, do I see anything? 4 hour, I do see this breaker, so I'm gonna mark it. Other than this, I do see this fair value gap as well as this big wick. So what I believe, like, price will trade inside here at this level. So this is our bullish breaker, and let's drop down to the lower time frames more. Okay, I do see price delivering here aggressively, and let's see if we have relative equal highs or trendline liquidity up here. We do have an order block here, right? So yeah, the same thing as we saw on Dow. So I'm gonna mark it right here. This is what left for price to fill. Now the question is price is gonna go towards premium, then move towards lower, move towards sell side liquidity, or is it gonna straight deliver and hit these order blocks right here? What I'm also gonna do is measure these order blocks right like this, and we know where price will get sensitive inside this order block, right? At the upper quadrant and at the mean threshold. So this is our breaker, sorry, fair value gap here, and this is a CB. $8.17. We still have 3 minutes before we start our macro. So now let's go to 5-minute chart. My analysis is not clear on NQ the way I showed it to you on Dow, but I do see price reaching down here, hitting the upper quadrant and the mean threshold of this fair order block, right? So now let's go to 5-minute chart, and even on 5-minute we do have a fair value gap as well as an implied fair value gap. So if you are trading on Nasdaq, if I was trading on Nasdaq, what I'll do, I will wait and see if price is coming up here and forming relative equal lows when it's coming up here, okay, when it's reaching for this level. If not, then I will not have a trade idea. If price comes up here, I will have a trade idea. Okay, so this is the analysis on Nasdaq. Now let's put our charts together here, and I'll look at Dow. 5-minute. This is why I told you guys that don't become impulsive and push your button here, because this is not a macro zone, right? So still wait. Price has relative equal lows right here, just like yesterday. The folks who saw my stream yesterday, if you remember 8:30 delivery, right, we were expecting price to come lower. We had the same formation yesterday, relative equal lows, but then price moved higher. We had a very clean breaker at 820 to 840 inside the macro, but price moved higher. So we'll see what happens today. Okay, I believe price can potentially form another breaker here inside our macro, so we'll keep an eye on this. If 1 minute is looking choppy to you, don't force your eye to look at here. Okay, just go to 3-minute chart, or if 3-minute chart is not making sense to you, move to 5-minute chart. Okay, this is how you will do it. And if you are feeling impulsive, okay, now I'm gonna look at 1-minute chart with HYDRA because I don't want to miss a trade, then trust me, you are still impulsive and you are still gonna blow an account. So let's go to 1-minute chart on NQ and 1-minute chart on ES. We look for SMT with ES, right? We don't trade on ES, but we look for SMT happening on ES. So see, as I told you guys, a breaker can potentially form here. If we get a stop hunt up here, right? We already got a breaker. It's not a breaker yet, but this down close candle, if I drop down to 30-second, you can see this down close candle here, right? But this price action is scary, right? So we'll see what happens. We got trendline liquidity going on here. Price hit the premium level, cleared out a swing high. A lot of sell side liquidity resting here, and resting down here. So the only confirmation that we need, okay, is price going below this breaker right here and providing us the opportunity when it's going lower. And we'll see if it's happening at 820 to 840. If not, we will wait. As we saw yesterday, price didn't clear out this relative equal low at 820 to 840 macro yesterday, but it did at 920 to 940. So let's see what happens here. So I'm gonna keep an eye on this breaker. We generated a volume balance right up here. And is it SMT? Seems like it is. So yesterday, Rebecca asked me a question like, what does SMT mean? And this is what SMT looks like, okay? When you are looking for a breaker, we want to see price making a higher high for a bearish breaker, right? Otherwise, our breaker is not valid. So suppose you are trading on Dow, the same thing I told you. Suppose we are trading on Dow and we saw price making a higher high, but what happened on Nasdaq and ES didn't make it this higher high. So it will work as a strong confirmation for you as a smart money reversal that price will go lower, and you are correct in the direction of the market. Now let's see if this SMT holds. or it gets broken, as we have on Nasdaq, as we have an unfilled fair value gap here, right? We saw it, and see Nasdaq, before it moved towards buy side liquidity, cleared out the relative equal low down here, but at the same time it generated more. So let's see what happens. What's happening on dollar? So I'm gonna give you guys a little insight on dollar, what I'm expecting. So I believe dollar will reach for this breaker right here. Do you guys see this? These up close candles up here. So yeah, I believe dollar will aggressively reach for this one. Why? If you ask me question, then I will take you on the daily chart, and as you can see, we have a swing low right here. Okay, and this is our sell side liquidity. So I believe dollar is reaching for this level, which is at 102,900. Okay, so I'm gonna put an alert here, and we'll see if dollar is eventually reaching down here today or even in this week. Right, and also once dollar clear, okay, there's another thing that I see on dollar, like if dollar is not moving towards buy side liquidity, filling this fair value gap and then going lower, right, we can expect to see as soon as dollar clears out the swing low here, dollar will move to fill these fair value gaps. As long as these fair value gaps are unfilled, dollar will retrace after it clears out this sell side liquidity from down here. Now let's look at Dow and what's happening here. So it seems like they are respecting the SMT, right? Nasdaq, look at Nasdaq, very aggressive delivery. And we got a liquidity void right up here, right? So what I believe, price will go lower from this level, from this liquidity void up here, because we also have a breaker up here. So we'll see what's happening here. Okay, folks, let's see. I want to see Dow going lower from this liquidity void, as these liquidity void got generated inside these down close candles, and this price action is happening inside our 820 to 840 macro. Okay, now let's answer some of your chats. Can you show which candles making the breaker? I already showed it multiple times in my previous streams. Don't short YM IMO is strongest among 3 indices. We'll see. We'll see, Winston. Okay, don't do that, folks. Okay, like if you have an analysis, keep your analysis inside you. If you feel like I'm wrong, just don't watch my stream. It's as simple as that. Okay. Michelle Miller, why does the mentor not trade the Dow? The Dow appears to be leading the other 2 indices. It doesn't matter like which pair you are trading. It depends on your mindset and the pair that you like. I like Dow, but the concept that I use can also be applicable on ES and Nasdaq. Can a breaker also be viewed as a inversion order block? No, a breaker is a reclaimed order block. It's not an inversion order block. It has a different name, okay? Reclaimed order block. Inversion is fair value gap. I do not do ever, never the currency pairs. Trade on currency pairs. Do you have a bullish breaker on 1 minute chart YM? Not that I see. Painter Montreal. Okay, I got a call, okay? Okay, so seems like a very choppy price action, right? Come on guys, cheer him, don't discourage or disrespect. There's no discourage or disrespect. I'm just gonna ban you. I'm not gonna tolerate you. It's as simple as this. Leonard. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce your name, sorry. Mate, you are killing it with the breakers. Well done to you, and thanks for your time. Share on those gems. You are welcome. You are welcome. Can you check gold? Just get stop loss on short. Yesterday I gave you a signal of buying, right, Cooper? Or you? I think you didn't watch my stream yesterday. So yeah, I'll analyze once the delivery of 820 to 840 macro is done. I'll go on gold and we'll see what's happening there. So price generated more relative equal lows down here, right? So we'll see like if price is moving from this liquidity void towards sell side liquidity or not. Not the cleanest price action to trade, right? But this price action will get cleaner inside 920 to 940 period, folks, okay? So if you're not feeling comfortable here, just hang on. Price action will get better inside 920 to 940. Oh, there are other people who are asking for signals. Morning. How are you doing, Saad? Good morning, Pat. Okay, on Nasdaq, as you guys can see, we generated relative equal highs up here on Nasdaq, right? So we also have relative equal lows down here. What is this on Nasdaq happening? Now let's go to Nasdaq and talk a little bit about Nasdaq, because seems like a turtle soup pattern forming here, right, Dale? That's what I taught you guys there inside my 3-day workshop. So this is our relative equal low. How do I see it? Relative equal low up here. We got relative equal high as well as an unfilled fair value gap. So we got liquidity, strong liquidity in both sides of the market, right? So when we see a pattern repeating like this, what do we do? Does anyone know in the chat? Let me know if you know it in the chat. What do we do here? Okay, seems like a lot of you know that already. I bought your bootcamp and I want to know which day you talked about Forex macros. It's not in day. I believe you are inside my private Telegram, so scroll up. Okay, I didn't put it inside my videos because I didn't want it to get leaked. They can know about the concept, but the time is the most important part of a setup. So that's why I didn't include it with the videos. Go up on my private Telegram and you'll see it there. Or if you don't see it, just email me. I'll send it to you through email. Reggie, wait till one side is taken out. Yes. How does 1 week equal? It's not 1 week. Don't you see price has multiple weeks down here? And it's still generating more relative equal low, Eric. See this one is relatively equal. We wait. Yes, wait for one side to take it and then target the other direction. Yes. Yes, seems like most of you know it. Equal high to equal low. Yes. Trade the opposite to the stop hunt. Yes. Sweep plus retracement. Yes. We are listening, Hydra. Thank you. Take a turtle soup. I'm gonna wait. One side liquidity have to be purged. Yes. Good morning, bro. Good morning, Adi. So seems like price is clearing out what? Sell side liquidity. Now it has left all the buy side liquidity up here, right? And price just cleared it out, the sell side liquidity. Now we wait because we also got order blocks right down here, right? That's what I showed you on. Okay, there was someone who was telling me that price will not go towards sell side liquidity, and we should not look for what? Any bearish trade. Where is that guy? Okay, let me ban him first. Okay, I already banned him anyway. Yeah. So what do you see? Price generated relative equal lows, right, in a form of trendline liquidity, and then price gravitated back towards these levels. So the liquidity matters to price, okay? Where it's generating strong buy side or sell side liquidity, price will move towards these levels. He is probably right calling the market for the session, but price will not reverse until it clears out strong buy side and sell side liquidity. Okay, so we got a bearish movement out here. Price cleared out this swing low. Now let's go to Nasdaq. Nasdaq seems like has a better price action compared to Dow. So Nasdaq hit our BC. Nasdaq also hit the order block that we saw on 50-minute chart. Right, where is the order blocks? Right down here. So let's go to 1-minute chart and let's see if price moves higher or not, or if it continues to drop towards sell side. Yeah, there's many. Yes, because he expressed his mind, which I told many times not to express. Mike, if you don't want to ban someone, just start your own stream and then go there, okay, Mike? Right? And do whatever you want to do there. So price cleared out the relative equal lows. The best reaction can happen from upper quadrant and the midway, right? So let's see if price is eventually going towards buy side from these two levels, 0.75 and 0.5 levels. Still have 3 minutes before our macro gets closed, our first macro. Do you look at market maker X model as well, Hydra, after such a big large run, maybe a decent retracement. Yes, we'll see. Like, we have this very equal high left up here, right? So now what we can do is wait to see if price is retracing at 820 to 840. If not, we have another macro that delivers price aggressively, and the macro is 920 to 940. You got it? So we'll wait. Price hit the mean threshold of the order block that we saw from the 50-minute chart. Now, when you see a order block, right, the best reaction that price can do is from the mean threshold. No, I'm allowing chat, but it doesn't mean that I'm gonna tolerate the person who I don't like. Why would I tolerate him? Just because he's watching my stream? It doesn't make sense. And I like banning people. There are like more than 200-300 people in my ban list since I started my stream 7 months ago. So price hit the mean threshold, right? So let's see what price does. We generated a fair value gap here, which is working as an inversion. I'm waiting for the 920 to 940 macro, okay? Because what I believe, price will just move lower until 920 to 940, and at 920 to 940 price will deliver towards buy side liquidity, as we got this up here. So I'm gonna put Dow up right here. Dow. And Dow seems like going even lower, right? As we expected. So price is hitting this fair value gap. I want to see price going above this one, okay? Not rejecting from this fair value gap. If it's rejecting, that means the liquidity that price will deliver up here, it will happen at 920 to 940. And see, price is rejecting from this fair value gap. So what I believe, as I told you guys, that if this fair value gap was getting failed, right, and working as an inversion, we could have expected price going higher and hunting liquidity up here. Now the price got rejected from this one, right? We can expect to see price going lower and reject at 920 to 940. Sorry, get support at 920 to 940, not reject. So now let's go to higher time frame and let's see where price can stop. Very nice delivery. Very nice delivery towards sell side. We got another unfilled fair value gap here on 50-minute chart. And dollar seems like having a lot of buy side liquidity in a form of equal high. So we got our fair value gap here. We got our order block right here as well, right? And once price is going below this level, this is where our sell side liquidity is resting, below these very typical lows. And price came down, cleared out the relative equal low all the way down here. But we didn't got a chance of entry, right? I was expecting price hitting this liquidity void that it generated inside this breaker and then going down. What happened? Price didn't hit it, but we were right in the direction to call the market, right? And we don't get FOMO because we missed this trade here, because we got a skill that will show us the same setup repeating throughout the whole session, right? So BC. So that's what there is a reason why I told you that not to share your analysis with me. Do you know why? Because when I'm right, okay, I'm a human, so I will feel inside that to bust you, saying that okay, I'm right, and that's where I don't want to go. Okay, that's where I don't want to go. I want to have a peace of mind when I'm analyzing my chart, right? Do your analysis on your own. I'm not asking about your analysis, so why share your analysis with me, right? Suppose I'm wrong. Suppose I'm wrong and you are right. What you will do in my chat, you will tell me why am I wrong, and this will fuck up my mind, right? If I'm right, it's also fucking my mind as well. If I'm wrong, it's also fucking my mind as well. So that's why I don't like to tolerate the people who are sharing their own analysis, right? Because this is an emotion that I'm controlling weak character. Okay, this. What do you mean by weak character, Mike? Anyway, you are banned. I'm not gonna give you much attention. 5-minute chart, 15-minute chart, relative equal lows down here. I wanna see price moving towards this level, okay? And I'm gonna measure the fair value gap, and we'll see what price does inside this fair value gap, okay? What price does inside this fair value gap. We also hit a good support level on Dow, right? This was the remaining 15-minute fair value gap, as you can see here. And we had these order blocks, bullish order blocks right down here. So price basically hit the order block, which is coming at 35,138. And now let's see if price moves towards buy side, because it cleared out all the sell side liquidity that it generated, right? Down here we had a relative equal low down here, we have another relative equal low down here, we had trend line liquidity up here. So now we will wait for 920 to 940 macro, and in the meantime I'll take you guys on gold, and we'll see what's happening there. And we will see what's happening there. So I'm only gonna keep one chart from now on, like this big one. And now let's go to gold. Let's go to the weekly chart. Let's see what's happening here. And in one of my stream, okay, I don't remember, like I told you guys that if gold is getting support from these order blocks or breaker block, gold will reach for this swing high, and eventually this relative equal high up here. And seems like gold throughout the whole session, throughout the whole month, after it hit this breaker, it's just moving towards buy side liquidity, right? So what can be our next target? Our next target can be, so this is a chart where I don't use IPTA, okay, because it seems like price don't respect the IPTA here. It just moves wherever it wanna go, but we still can have a good idea where it's going by analyzing chart from the weekly all the way down to the lower time frame. So we got a rejection block up here, so this can be our target for today's session. Okay, now we got an idea of where price can potentially reach, but it's not 100%. Now we have to go to lower time frame and see if our lower time frame is supporting price reaching up here, right? We also hit this breaker right up here. Okay, now let's go to daily chart. Daily chart, very bullish delivery, right? Very, very bullish delivery. And this is our rejection block. Now these order blocks, sorry, these breakers, okay, these are breakers. Why I'm not mentioning these as order blocks? Because we have a swing low right here, price went below it, made a lower low. This is why these up close candles working here as relative equal breaker. So I'm gonna mark it. So now the trade idea on lower time frame is that once price reached down here, right, once price is trading inside this level, inside this breaker, we can look for a bullish trade that will give us minimum 2 hour. So now let's go to 4-hour chart and let's see if we have any PD area here. Yesterday's call was very good, right, to the tick. The folks who started watch my stream yesterday, to the tick we call the market from here towards buy side liquidity. And seems like we don't have a PD area here on 4-hour chart, but we do have these breakers again. We also have another breaker here, and I don't know about you guys, like if you guys saw it or not. Price generated a fair value gap, right? And this is a formation that makes a breaker high probability. So now let's see. Okay, I'm gonna drop down to lower time frame, even lower, and I will see like if price is generating relative equal highs up here, because we are not just trading blindly a pattern. We want to see relative equal high, relative equal low forming according to our trade idea. Okay, now let's mark these boxes, otherwise it's getting choppy. This one is our breaker from the daily chart. Breaker daily, and this one as well. Breaker for 1 hour. We got, see, I told you guys that I want to see a PDA forming here. Now, do we have it? We have it, like, we have the lower low, right? So I'm gonna put this away. I'm gonna hide the indicator, and now it's looking good. So we got our lower low, stop hunt, new lower low. So these up close candles becomes what? Our breaker, all of it. So this is where was the origin of the stop hunt, and this is where how far price went, and this is where we have a breaker. Now price already got support from this fair value gap, right? So what I will recommend you to wait, okay, because the chance is gone to enter here. Price is getting support from this fair value gap here. So what you can do, if I was trading on gold, okay, if I was trading on gold, I'll wait, and I'll wait to see if gold is retracing lower. And when it's retracing lower towards this breaker, I want to see gold forming relative equal high or trendline liquidity up here. So what that will mean is that gold will get support from this breaker again, as it will generate relative equal high and low. So now let's go to 5-minute chart. I'm feeling really sleepy. I slept like 2 hours last night. I didn't have a good sleep. My eyes are burning. So I'm gonna close that stream very soon today after like 9:20 to 9:40 delivery, and we'll see if we get a trade or not. So we have a BPR here, okay? So seems like price can potentially reject towards sell side. If this BPR is not, if price is not rejecting from this BPR, price will hunt liquidity up here. Okay, folks, so you will basically will not get a chance of entry. So as I told you guys, if I was trading on gold, I will wait, and as I outlined a BPR, I don't know if price will go higher. I would like to see price retracing lower, as I didn't got an entry, and at the same time when price is retracing lower, I'll drop down to 1 minute chart and see if price is, when it's retracing lower, if it's forming relative equal lows, sorry, relative equal highs up here, or trend line liquidity. If it does that, then I will have a trade idea right here. Does it make sense? So I'm gonna put an alert here. If price comes down here, how to analyze the chart. I never used a DR indicator for confirmation. Okay. Please can you move the chart so we can see the bottom left part? What do you mean by move this part? Why do you want to see this one? Iman, why people keep talking? I don't know. How many people got banned today? I think it's a record. No, it's not a record. When I started my stream, I remember that in a day I banned like how many people? Around like 60. See, even after banning, we are still increasing our viewers, right? So this is the value. No one can stop the value from getting the crowd. Anyway, so price close the candle's body above the BPR, right? So now let's see if price goes up here, and I believe it will hunt liquidity up here. We also got a breaker down here. Well, gold is looking really clean on 30-second, right? So we got a breaker here. So if price is retracing down, this will be a level for us to expect support from this breaker. So I'll see. We still have time before we start our next macro on stock, and I'm only gonna tape read 920 to 940. I don't have any interest to tape read the 850 macro, so you can do it on your own. And once we get near to 920 to 940, I'll come back on stock and we'll see what's happening here. Okay, so we have a fair value gap, order block. Seems like price is getting support from it. Price already got support from this breaker. Okay, so what I believe, price will move higher from this level and hunt liquidity up here, because just now I saw this one. And if price is not going higher from this BPR, this breaker will be our last line of defense to expect higher prices. Okay, if this one is failing, price will come down here and we'll still have a chance to take an entry. As I told you guys, that if gold is retracing lower, then we want to see relative equal high forming, and if gold is eventually hitting here, without clearing out the relative equal highs, then we can take a trade targeting the buy side liquidity up here. So keep an eye on gold. Now let's go to what's happening on Forex. Okay, the reason of ban is like, don't share your analysis with me. That's the only thing. Otherwise, I'm a very humble person. That's the only requirements that I'm asking you to respect. Okay, not sharing your analysis in the chat, as I'm reading like every one of your comments. So yeah. Let's see what you guys are talking here. I'm here since the start. I remember the ban day. Do you remember it? Cheers from Brazil. Cheers from Canada. Which pair, please? What do you mean which pair? Okay, do you guys want to see me analyzing Euro USD? If you do want to see me doing this, then Can we reach like 250 likes? If we are reaching 250 likes, I'll analyze Euro USD, which I don't do much on my stream. Yeah, I survived ban day. Oh my god, you guys are funny. NQ, what's happening on NQ? Yeah, I'm also keeping an eye on NQ, and I already gave you guys the level on NQ. We are expecting price going below the 3 equal low and hitting the fair value gap from the 50-minute chart. Okay, so that's what we are expecting on NQ. HYDRA, it's all about probability, right? Yes, it's all about probability. We are not just trading blindly, okay? Our target, our model makes our trading high probability, but there's always a chance of losing. That's why you should be always following your risk management, okay? There's no one can guarantee you after they see their high probability setup that this will go towards this level. Yes, like sometime, most of the time price does that 60 to 70% of the time, but still you have a chance to lose 30% of the time, and you have to be okay with that. Where people are not okay, where newbies are not okay, is that they know that 50-60% of winning is good. They will accept that, but they will not accept how the losing streak will come, right? So suppose you are winning 60% of the time, you are still losing 40% of the time. So the newbie, they don't get it. Like, they expect to lose one trade and win 5 trades in a row, but the losing streak can also come in 5 trades in a row. Once it comes, okay, they doubt their trading model. They're like, okay, I need to look for another shiny object, and that's where they do wrong. If they are patient enough, following their model, eventually, it doesn't matter what model you are trading. Eventually, at the end of the day, you will turn out to be profitable. Right? That's where most of you fuck up, right? Do you think once you have a 6 losing streak, you feel like, okay, my model is not working, but with the ratio, with the statistics, you are losing for 30% of the time, but the losing streak is coming in a row. When it's coming, like, suppose I'm winning 2 trades, I'm losing 1 trade, then I'm winning 3 trades, it's good for our psychology. And where do we fuck up? When the losing streak is coming in a row, like in six losses, right? Most of you don't even survive 6 losses. You like blow your account after 2 losses. At the third one, you were like, okay, I'm gonna risk everything and I'm gonna go all in. If it's turning profitable, I'm lucky. If not, I'm just blowing the account. See, I had a losing streak on stream 3 days in a row. But did I doubted my model? No. The next day, at 4th day, I got 2 winning trades. On Friday, I got another winning trade. So that means what? If I'm following the risk management and I'm winning if I'm risking, like, suppose 1% and targeting like 1 to 2 R, just simply that, okay? 1 to 2 R, I'll need to lose 4 trades in a row to get back to lose 1 profit, right? So that's what matters, folks. Thinking like this, thinking in probabilities, thinking in the system, believing in the system. It doesn't matter how the losing streak is coming. You have to believe that eventually at the end of the day, your model will provide and you will have a good win rate, right? Okay, so we didn't reach 250 likes, so I'm not gonna analyze Forex. So let's look at 1 minute chart. And seems like price cleared out the relative equal low right here, right? And this is our relative equal low down here. I want to see price hitting this fair value gap before moving towards buy side. And see, as I told you guys, I'm avoiding trading 8, 50 to 910 macro. What do you see here? Do you see a good trade idea other than this fair value gap? This is a very choppy delivery. This delivery is in high resistance liquidity run. Okay, this is what we avoid. We want to see price delivering liquidity in low resistance, smashing through our TP in just 2-3 minutes. That's what we want to see. We don't want to see this. We don't want to trade on this. Now, why did I avoid trading on 850 to 910 macro? I'm gonna show it to you on Dow. What do you see here? So 850 to 910 macro is only high probability when we have news incoming at 8:30, and every other day is low probability, just like this. Okay, most of the time. So keep that also in mind. I'm saying most of the time. Sometimes you will see there's no news at 8:30, but 850 macro is forming a very good breaker or forming a very good turtle soup model. But we trade with high probability ratios, and our high probability suggests to avoid 850 to 910 macro when there's no news at 8:30. Does it make sense? Just for this one, okay, these are something that I believe people share in mentorship, right? In their private mentorship where we pay them. And I'm dropping these jams for you here for free. So if you appreciate my effort to see you successful, just hit the thumbs up button. This will inspire me to drop more gems for free. So we generated more relative equal lows down here. And okay, I'm gonna wait until 9:20. I'm not gonna look at this chart, okay? Trust me. I also got a screen here. I also got the dollar chart up here. I'm not gonna look at any of the chart, and I'll take you guys on gold, and I'll come back at 9:20. I'll show you guys that you don't have to look what's happening before 9:20 to trade at 9:20 to 9:40 macro. That's why I love this macro so much. And if I only had to choose one macro throughout my whole life to trade on, I'll trade on 9:20 to 9:40. Just because of this reason, because 9:20 to 9:40 requires no bias most of the time. So let's go on gold. And gold seems like chopping here inside this BPR, right? Inside this BPR, we had a little gap left here, and now we are just trading inside it. So another tip, okay folks, when you see a price action repeating like this and you are expecting bullish price action like me, and it's happening like this here, I'll highly recommend you just to close your trade. Yeah, it hurts to close in loss, right? Or even like in break even, but that's what you should be doing, and this is what will make you emotionally more stronger. If you are like holding at these levels when price is just consolidating here, right? It's gonna fuck you up emotionally. But anyway, we wanna see price reaching up here, all the way up here. So let's see what gold does. What gold does. Levin, how often do you adjust your sizing according to your account size? For example, if you made some large amount from something else, how much would you put that your trade account and not be affected? Well, I always risk 1% on my live account. The rule is different for the funded accounts. 1% strictly for the live account. If the setup is low probability and I still want to take it, then only then I'll risk 0.5% on my live account. On my funded accounts is always 0.5%. It doesn't matter if I'm on challenge account, if I'm on a live account, is always 0.5%. And mostly I prefer, suppose I'm trading with like a 150k account with top step, then I'll only risk 0.25% on my live account, not on challenge. On challenge, because the account size is bigger, I can make more money on one trade, and this is why I'll risk like 0.5% in the challenge phase. Once I get the express account, express funded account, I'll start risking 0.25%. Now, to most of you who don't make money, consistent money in trading, you will be like, that's so low in trading. Like, you are using 150k account, you are risking 0.25%. So basically you are risking how much? $250, right? $500. $500 is a lot to risk. That was like my 1 week pay. And I couldn't even imagine like I would risk $500 in one trade 2 years ago. So that's how you gradually improve. When I started my trading, I was risking $50 per trade on my live account. Max that I was going is like $100, because just think like this: if I was making 1 to 2 hour, right? I'm already making one pay of my day in one trade. That is $100. In a day, I work 8 hours and I make $120. When I started, I was risking $50. I was targeting for $100. And that's how gradually I improved throughout the year, throughout the 2 years. This year was like a legendary year for me. This year I started risking $250 per one trade idea as my account size got increased from past year's profits, right? $250, and this same year I'm risking on my same account $500 per trade idea. So are we inside the 920 macro? We are not. Dow is looking good for 920 macro. I don't know. Okay, I'm not looking at Dow. I'm gonna come back exactly at 920, and that's the time I'm gonna look at Dow. So see, price got support from this BPR, and we were expecting price going higher, right? From this BPR. So this is our second call, okay, for today. We had 2 calls. We didn't got an entry at our first call, which was at which was on Dow 820 to 840 macro. We call market lower, but we didn't got an entry. Here I'm not trading, but seems like we got an entry, and we do have a breaker here on 30-second chart on gold. Now let's see if the gold respects it or not. This right here is a breaker, so I want to see price going higher from this one, from this level on gold, and the logic remains same. Okay, we still want to see price going higher. So this breaker, this is a breaker, good breaker. We also got these order blocks right here with fair value gap, so I believe gold will move higher. Nabil, if you understand but the price action, you can execute on 1 minute chart. This question you are asking me because you don't understand how price moves. That's why you are telling me, okay, I don't have a 30-second chart, so how am I gonna execute on 1 minute? If you know how to read price, the same price action is happening on 1 minute, on 5-minute chart. So build your narrative according to that and then execute there. I'm not giving you a signal, Nabil. Okay, all I'm doing is teaching you, showing you people how to read price action. That's it. That's all I'm doing. And I'm calling market with exact levels. I'm not giving you a signal, but that doesn't mean you cannot learn. See, I outlined the breaker here, and I told you guys the price will go higher. I told you guys that this is a BPR. I shared you guys why from this BPR price should move higher. Right? Then I told you guys that if price is closing a candle's body above this BPR, price will reach for this swing high up here. Go back and you will hear me telling this to you. And I also told you guys that if this BPR is failing, if price is going lower, we will still have a chance of entry right down here. And looking good BPR so far. 912, we still got 7 minutes. Price generated relative equal highs, right? So if I was trading on gold, this is a level where I would pyramid, because this is a BPR again. We saw how price got support from this BPR. The same pattern repeating here in a smaller form with relative equal highs. So now let's go to NQ. Which one has a better price action? Seems like NQ has the better price action, right? NQ has the targets that we want to look for, and on Dow cleared out the targets, our high probability targets. So this is our BC, and we clear out the relative equal, but we didn't hit this BC right here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna wait until price gets inside the 920 macro, and once it does, okay, I will I'll have a good analysis. Equal lows. Someone's asking me, can you comment shortly on NQ 15 minute from 3 to 6 a.m. price action? Thanks. NQ 15 minute 3 to 6 a.m. price action. Okay, let's see what he's asking. NQ 15 minute chart, 3 to 6 a.m. price action. Three to 6. Okay, so price got rejected from the breaker. That's what happened. It's very clean here to see the chart in hindsight, right? We got a high here. We got a stop hunt here. We got a new higher high here. This down close candles becomes what? Our breaker. We extended out on time, and as well as we got a fair value gap here, which is an inversion. This is what I taught you guys in my 3-day workshop. When you see, okay, this has a meaning. This candle, in every candle, sorry, this is our first leg of the breaker, this is our second leg, and this right here is our third leg of the delivery. Every one of these leg provides a chance of entry with breaker. You won't find this outside my community, okay? All they know, who the people who are outside my community, is price will form a fair value gap here, and that's where you will take an entry, right? But there are more to breaker. So if you want to know more about breaker, how a breaker does work, high probability breaker, how to take entries from 3 of these legs using breaker plus inversion, I shared one model of the inversion that you won't see outside of my community. I shared multiple models on turtle soup that you won't see outside my community. So if you want to see these things, you can check out my 3-day workshop, and you can watch the recordings, and you will find the link to join in the description below. So this is the breaker, okay? And price basically got support at price got rejected at 3 o'clock inside this time period, 3 to 6, towards sell side liquidity from here, from this breaker. So it's very easy to spot this breaker. Does it make sense? The one who asked me the question. So I'm still waiting to see what Nasdaq will do. Okay, so that's a good question. Ed Love is asking. I don't get questions like this much. He's saying, so you don't think the bullish breaker is high probability NQ because it didn't reach the 15-minute fair value gap? Yes, that's why I'm waiting, okay? That's why I'm waiting to see if NQ will hit this fair value gap and then go towards buy side liquidity. I will have a clean analysis inside 920 to 940 period. Whatever price will do inside 920 to 940, I can trust it. Outside of it, I'm just gonna watch what NQ does, as I'm not trading, right? So NQ generated a lot of buy side liquidity. So what we wanna see, okay, NQ not clearing this out when it's moving towards sell side, rather leaving it intact. And when the time comes, NQ gets support from this BC, we'll have a trade idea right down here. This is our sell side liquidity. Where is it? Okay. I want to see this fair value gap failing. We got an order block with fair value gap. Let's see if it fails or not. Price also did a stop hunt here, right? Also, we got a breaker here. So what I want to see, price hitting this BC, then moving towards buy side. That's why I'm waiting. And as well, we are not trading inside our macro. So I'll keep waiting for 920 to 940 macro to start. And then we'll see. And also, we got relative equal lows down here. Is it SMT? Oh, well, is it a SMT? Yes, it is a SMT down here. Lower low, lower high, right? Dow failed to make that lower low. So Dow is not so clean the way I was expecting compared to Nasdaq. Nasdaq is very clean. So I'll stick with Nasdaq today. Problem is that the stop hunt happened at the Asian session. If the precision price action happened after the Asian session and the stop hunt was during the London, then the breaker was stronger. It doesn't matter where the breaker is forming. Okay, what matters, Adil, is when the breaker is getting activated. Do you understand what I'm saying? A breaker can form outside of your kill zone, but if the breaker is getting activated, like price closing a candle's body above a bullish breaker, below a bearish breaker, then inside your kill zone, then that breaker becomes a high probability breaker. Does it make sense? I was observing NAS finding supported the 50% of the prior 4-hour week presently. Do you see similar, and is this helpful to your analysis? It's not. Can a breaker be high probability if the third leg left relative equal high? So even if it clears a higher time frame, I don't get it. What you were asking me? Leaved? Thanks, bro. It was nice. I don't see the breaker, but thanks for the good information. Yes, when the breaker on London session that I showed you guys just a couple of minutes ago, it formed before the London session, right? The breaker got activated inside the London session. What do I mean by activated? So the folks who don't know, I'm just gonna talk a little bit about it. When did price went below this breaker? Inside our kill zone, 3 to 5 o'clock, right? And price was just chopping around here. Price activated the breaker. That's what matters, and that's what makes a breaker a high probability breaker. So if you're trading on higher time frame, this is what you want to see. Your breaker is getting activated inside your kill zone. As we are trading on lower time frame, we want to see our breaker is getting activated inside our macros. So just chopping around, we have a lot of buy side liquidity resting up here. And on Dow, okay, on Dow I do see a breaker down here, this one. Now the folks will ask me like, why this is a breaker? We got a lower low. Price don't necessarily need to go below this one to form a breaker. If you don't understand what a breaker means, you can check out my 3-day workshop, and if you want to do it for free, you can check out my mentor's YouTube channel, the core content. You will find the breaker there. So seems like we are having a breaker here, but I'm still gonna wait, folks. Okay, what I believe is high probability, I'll stick with that, but this is something. We also generated a relative equal low down here, right? So I'm gonna wait. Bro, I take trade on that BPR. It hit my TP on gold. Much love. I mitigated my today and some profit. I wish I have money to join your private mentorship. You don't have to join my private mentorship to become profitable. I didn't join anyone's private mentorship to become profitable. I am a free ICT YouTube student. So if I can do it without joining to anyone's self mentorship, you can do it too, brother. Okay, so never feel down that you don't have money to purchase a mentorship. You don't have to. The folks who want to know more and have money to waste, they can join. And it's not a waste. Trust me, it's not a waste. What you are paying, you are getting way more value than what you were paying. So I'm glad that you made money. So don't share it, okay? Like when you make money, it's okay. Keep it inside you. When you lose money, keep it inside you. And this is a BC. I really want to see price diving inside this BC and then going higher. So see how experience serves you. This is something that you won't see without your experience. You will see the breaker here and you will be like, okay, I want to buy from here. And this is why our mentor always told us to stick with demo for 6 months, minimum 6 months, right? And this is what demo trading gives inside you. No, it's the 5th win, not 4th win, Ahmed. It's our 5th win. Yesterday, win on gold. The day before that, win on gold. We had like 2 losses so far on gold, 4 wins on gold. So if you're just following with risk management, now you will need how many trades? 16 trades in a row. You will have to lose 16 trades in a row to get back to your initial balance. Now see, power of risk management and power of experience. Now see, we are waiting for price to come down, clear out the sell side liquidity from here, and on Dow we are waiting to see price hitting the breaker and then moving towards buy side. So see, Dow is choppy, it didn't even hit the breaker. Now it's moving towards buy side. And go dollar, okay, I believe at 9:30 we'll have a bullish delivery. Why? If I show you guys go dollar chart, do you guys see the relative equal low down here? I'm looking at hourly chart. So if dollar is reaching for this relative equal low, that means what? We'll have a bullish price action on indices. So let's see if I get the trade, I'll take it. If not, I'll wait. 927. $28, 2 minutes. We got a breaker up here. If price goes above this breaker, I'll consider it as a high probability. Okay. But if price is rejecting from this breaker, which is not a breaker, it's not a breaker yet, then I'll wait for price to clear out the sell side liquidity from here and then reverse. So I have two ideas in my mind that can potentially happen. So let's see which one happens. And seems like price will clear out the relative equal lows down here. We also got relative equal lows here. It art is saying like everyone is asking trading question. Let me ask caring question. Have you eaten? I haven't because I'm gaining weight, so I'm just basically avoiding eating at the morning, and I eat it like after I'm done with the session with my live stream after that. So 929, will we get an entry here up here? So what I believe, like price will move higher from this level, and this will work as a breaker. So I want to see this happening, okay folks, on NQ. Now let's see, we still have a lot of relative equal highs up here. And seems like price is going for this fair value gap, right? Now this is good. This is good because I didn't enter here. Let's see if price gives me a chance down here. Down here. Price hit the fair value gap, right? We still have a lot of buy side liquidity remaining. So no chance of entry so far. 15 second. Still moving lower after it cleared out. After it cleared out the buy side liquidity from here. So see, I didn't got a chance of entry, but I was expecting price hitting this level without clearing buy side liquidity from here and then moving towards buy side. It didn't happen so far, but on Dow, seems like Dow respected the analysis, right? So what happened on Dow? See, this is the breaker that I told you guys that we have a breaker, and Dow seems like respected our analysis so far beautifully. It came down, hit the breaker, feel the fair value gap. It still has relative equal highs, so I believe Dow will still move towards buy side liquidity. So also this is a good entry, I believe, on Dow from this fair value gap. From this fair value gap right down here. as we generated this relative equal highs up here. Where is it? Up here. So I want to see this relative equal high getting taken out. Now the price hit this fair value gap, right? This is also working as a BPR. And we have this bullish breaker supporting our trade area that price will go higher from this level. So see this, I didn't got an entry on NASDAQ because the delivery was really aggressive, but eventually price got support from this BC. Let's see what happens here. I want to see Dow moving higher from this level exactly right here. And dollar, so far what's happening on dollar? So they both are delivering the same price action, right? Towards sell side. Dow respecting the 5-minute volume imbalance. We got a volume imbalance on 5-minute. Yes, we do have a volume imbalance right here, but Dow is going below it, right? And NASDAQ seems like going towards buy side liquidity as we expected. This volume imbalance, let's drop down to 30-second and let's see if Dow is respecting it or not. They're moving opposite. Do you guys see that? Like NASDAQ will go for this one, which I believe on Dow will reach even lower. So very choppy price action to trade, right? Before FOMC, we got news at 2 o'clock. Just share, how did you start learning ICT? I started learning ICT from 2022 mentorship. Oh, when did I started it? Back in 2021. So I wanted to see Dow moving higher from this level. It seems like they moved lower. Dow moved lower and then Q moved higher. So this is a loss that I took right here. Okay, I had an execution here with a stop loss below the swing low. So one stop loss got hit right here. But still, it's good because I didn't hold. If I was holding, like, look at the delivery here. Right, they're manipulating quite a lot. They are moving opposite to each other quite a lot. Right, so far so good. Now let's see what 950 macro does in price action. This is what low probability condition looks like, folks. Okay, I was willing to risk one setup. Okay, I was willing to risk $500 and I risked it. And now I will wait. I will not take any more entries, as I told myself that only one trade is allowed when we have FOMC. If you want to take it, if you want to take a trade, then only one is allowed. When we have news at 2 o'clock, I do not mostly trade at the AM session. If I do trade, only one trade is allowed, and I took it right up here, and this is where it hit my stop loss. It's okay, it's only one loss, it's nothing. Let's see what price it does. Okay, folks, let's see what price does, if we are eventually getting some good setup or not. Good setup or not. I'm the only scalper you'll see in the whole industry who has so strict rules. Like the scalpers that take 10, 20 trades in a day and they give a reason. Okay, I'm a scalper, that's why I do that. Me, I only take like 2 trades in a day and that's it. Sometimes even no trades in a day. So nothing here, right? I wanted to see what I wanted to see on NQ is like price clearing this sell side liquidity and then aggressively delivering towards buy side. If that was happening on NQ, I would have taken an entry. And how will I know that NQ will move higher, right? From this level, it depends on the delivery. As soon as this candle closed, if this candle was keep providing liquidity towards buy side, see, I have a fair value gap marked here. This is something that I taught inside my 3-day workshop. This is a inversion at SMR. SMR means smart money reversal zone. So what I was waiting on NASDAQ is to see price going above this inversion, then retesting the inversion, and here I would have taken entry on NASDAQ. I didn't get the chance of entry. Price kept moving lower. But what I saw on Dow, right? This is when I take a loss, right? I do not just close. I do not just avoid the loss. I explain myself why I did that. Where did I make the mistake? Because it's always me who is making the mistake. It's never the chart, never the price action. So see, right here, I executed right here. I saw this BPR and I was like, okay, we have relative equal highs up here. NASDAQ is moving lower. Seems like not respecting the BC. So I executed here with a stop loss down here, targeting all the way up here. What is your max loss in a day? 2 losses. With 0.5% in my funded account, 1% in my live account. And if you try the one shot after loss, it's too little, try to recover. I don't do that. HYDRA, where are you taking hits? Don't you take hits? What do you mean, Alessandro Casara? I don't get your question. I don't get your question. Not the cleanest price action to trade for me. Yes, oh my god, look at ES. The folks who are trading on ES, they are getting chopped up real bad. Like, look at this price action here. It's so rangy. This is our beginning of our New York session at 8 o'clock, sorry, 8:30, right? Until now, this is what we delivered. Now NQ and NASDAQ had a better delivery, right? So I'm feeling good. Like, I take only one loss because here people are both blowing their account, right? NQ 30-second, Dow. Weed hits? What do you mean by that? Weed hits. NQ. We got SMT. With what? With ES? Let's see if we have SMT or not. I don't want to look for SMT here. This is too choppy. I'm just gonna avoid it. Okay, I'm gonna wait to see what happens inside 950, and after that I'm closing. Hello, what's your thoughts on gold? I already shared my thoughts. One signal at a day, and that's it. And so far we had 3 calls, right? 820 to 820 to 840 macro. Then on gold, and both were correct. Gold gave a chance of entry. Then the third call was on Dow, right? And seems like we got wrong. So 2 good calls so far and 1 wrong. Oh, there's another one on NQ. So 4 calls NQ didn't give a chance to entry, but eventually NQ moved higher from this PC, right? And that's it. That for me, I'm done for today. As done for the AM session today, because we got news at 2 o'clock, folks, right? We got FOMC meetings incoming, as you can see right here. FOMC meeting at 2 o'clock. So this is something that I learned from my experience, to not to push myself after I take one loss at FOMC meeting days. When we have FOMC meeting at 2 o'clock, always remember it, okay, folks? If you are here to learn, this is something that's very important to you, because what I'm doing here, I'm sharing my experience to you. When we have news at 2 o'clock, make it your rule as well. Only allow to take yourself one trade at AM session if you want to take a trade. The high probability is trading after the news gets delivered at 2 o'clock. Does it make sense? Look at the price action. Of course it makes sense. Look at the delivery here. Look at the delivery on ES, right? That's why I tell myself, if you want to take a trade, if you want to risk money, you're only allowed to do that with one trade. That's it. After that, come back after the AM session, at PM session. If you still want to make money, okay, that's how I talk with myself. If you still want to make money, come back at 2 o'clock. Look for the macro at 220 to 240, 250 to 310, because these two macros are going to be high probability. You will find a setup there. So let's see, okay, if we are closing today's session with a loss. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to close the session here because I'm feeling very sleepy and I didn't eat anything. So I'll go and I'll take a quick short little nap, and I'll come back at 1:30, okay? And we'll see like if we are closing our day with loss or with some profits. Yesterday we closed with profits. On Thursday, the week before, we closed with profits. So we had like 1, 2, 3 days winning streak. Now let's see what happens today, okay? What happens today? And I don't have any interest to do anything here, folks. Look at here. Even on 1 minute, okay, 30 second is looking a little bit cleaner. But as higher as you go, this is a very rangy price action, right? You wanna trade here? I'm done. I don't. And I'll come back at 2 o'clock and I'll allow myself to take 2 more trades at PM session, and we'll see what we can do then. Until then, folks, don't force yourself to take any trades. Do other stuff, watch a movie, do something else, and start looking at chart exactly at 1:30. Okay, let me answer one last question from Alessandro. My comment was, if you try after one loss to take one trade, more to try mitigate a loss, but just one. So okay, here's why I only take one trade. Why is that? Because suppose I lost the next one, right? So I'm losing 2 trades in a row, and I'll tell myself, okay, why did I do that? Why did I push button when I knew that I shouldn't be trading in a scenario like this, which is low probability, as we have news at 2 o'clock. So that's why now I'm not cursing myself, because one losing trade doesn't affect me, right? That's why, Alessandra, I hope it makes sense to you. And that's it for today, folks. I'll catch you guys at 1:30. Peace.